Hi, Emma here. My connection is weak, so let's hope for a great live. I was at an event yesterday and someone asked me what drives me, what is my reason for doing Love Me Slender. And there's a couple of reasons. When I lost my weight and I reached the scales, it was just after my 30th birthday, and I was lost. I was completely lost because I was like, hang on a minute, I've been a member of this diet club, what do I do now? And there was kind of a provision. It was like, well, you can eat a bit more food now. But I didn't really know what I could do. So I joined them as one of their leaders. And I was a leader for 6 months. I was completely stressed and just ended up putting a lot of weight back on. And I realised that there was a lot of people who were coming and getting weighed and feeling really rubbish about themselves. And there was a lot of people who had been coming for years. And I thought, well, do I really want to keep coming for years and live this way? And it was kind of like, well, no, I don't. So I was a bit like, well, what do I do instead? And that created a journey where I tried out so many different diets trying to find my way. And it's only when I started to do and learn about proper nutrition and the science behind nutrition that I realised actually it was quite simple. And a lot of the things that are missing out of diets and diet clubs are things like, well, what happens when you finish losing weight? How do I actually eat normally? And none of the diets teach us how to eat normally. And I thought, well, that's not fair, because actually one of the things I realised, and I know this is really controversial, is that I wonder if, and I think there's a good intention there, I wonder if all of these diets, they want you to come back. All these clubs, they want you to keep coming back, because if everybody lost weight, if everybody became really, really super duper healthy, they wouldn't exist. And I almost wonder if in some respects they've been set up, not deliberately, but we've set them up as a society to do that. And that's one of the things that drives me, because I realise that actually life doesn't have to be that way. And it's really soul destroying to feel like our only option is to either be losing weight or gaining weight. And you know what? It isn't the only option. And then the other massive driver for me was when I was growing up, my mum was manically depressed, and I had a lot of my own issues with my own mental health. And that was one of the things that ended up being a big part of my weight gain. And alongside the whole thing around losing weight, I realised that I had a really, really bad relationship with food, and I would rely on food to make me feel better. Hello, Michelle. Yeah, it does. It relies on people going back, and that's not what I want, because actually I've realised that we can then live a life with purpose once we've left it. So alongside that big driver came the fact that I needed to become mentally healthy, which is what I realise now. And that was a big driver for me as well, because as I progressed, I didn't want to keep having this really, really bad relationship with food that meant that I gained weight. And I moved away and I learned about so many different tactics and tools that meant that I could manage my mental health. And I thought, well, another thing is that there's nobody who, well, there are more and more, but we often associate mental health with the point, and mental health awareness with the point where someone has become mentally unhealthy. And actually, physical health and mental health are all joined in together. And again, I realised that that's something that we really do need to focus on. And that drives me as well, because I know, and I remember what it was like to have panic attacks. And I remember what it was like to want to sit there, and I did sit there and eat myself. I used to eat pizza, I used to eat packets of 12 snowballs and all of that. And it was like, well, actually, life's too short to be doing that to myself. And that's where sort of Love Me Slender has evolved, and what I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I just think that we deserve better. We deserve to have a brilliant life that doesn't revolve around food and dieting and feeling really bad about ourselves and feeling rubbish about getting on the scales and only losing half a pound. I think we deserve more than that, because we're better, and I'm better than that. And that's one of the things that really drives me. And one of the things I vision for the future is this coming together of all different elements of health that means that we can achieve that. And it is an evolving journey. It's not a static thing that's going to solve all your problems. So it's not a pill, it's not a weight thing. And I know that's going to be uncomfortable to some, but actually I think that we can do so much better, and it's just going to be brilliant. It's going to be really exciting. It just changes the way that we're going to live our lives. So that's what really drives me, and I just thought I'd share that with you on this sort of damp and dank, dark day. And so I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to wish you a fantabulous rest of your day.